Good evening. This is a CNL Fishcast with the latest on snow crab and the ongoing tie-up over price. To begin, I think it's fair to say the media and federal and provincial politicians are beginning to grasp the magnitude of the financial devastation that $2.20 a pound crab will bring to this province. $2.20 is almost $4 a pound less than last year's lowest price. So do the math. Take last year's snow crab quota here in Newfoundland and Labrador of 111 million pounds. You multiply that by the almost $4 a pound drop in price. That equals to a loss of about $450 million from last year. That $450 million loss is directly from rural communities. That huge loss is directly from the pockets of the inshore fleet. No other commercial fishery in Newfoundland and Labrador can pick up the slack for snow crab. No fishery. The crab fishery in this province was worth more last year than all other fisheries combined, with a landed value of $757 million. And every last boat in the snow crab fleet has been tied up for over 2 weeks now. Our most valuable fishery is completely dead in the water, not on strike. Strikes by fishermen in this province are illegal by law under the final offer selection system. The question is, how long will the tie-up last, and what can be done to improve the price, to end the tie-up, to fix the broken fish price setting system? Now, I'll come back to that. First, I want to give you the latest news on the crab price. The price of snow crab in the world market, in the US market, I should say, is down. That's undeniable. Even though there's a moratorium on the Alaskan snow crab fishery, the price is down. Even though the United States banned the importation last year of snow crab from Russia as a result of its war on the Ukraine, the price is still down. And even though the world's largest snow crab fishery, that's right here in Newfoundland and Labrador, has yet to land a single pound for 2023, despite all of that, the price of snow crab into the United States is still down. According to Urner Barry's most recent report on Thursday of last week, Urner Barry, for those who don't know, is a US company that provides market intelligence on crab prices, on all fish prices, into the United States. On April the 20th, that's Thursday last week, Urner Barry dropped the average wholesale rate for 5 to 8 ounce frozen snow crab clusters in Newfoundland and Labrador to a range of $4.80 to $5.05 US a pound. Now, that's the lowest rate published by Urner Barry since late 2021, when wholesale prices began dropping and when the 5 to 8 ounce frozen clusters were reportedly averaging $16.80 a pound US. That's a 70% plus drop in price. The snow crab going into the US is from last year, crab that was held in inventory, but some of it is also from this year's snow crab fishery in the Gulf, which has begun. Crab harvesters in the Gulf from the Maritimes or Quebec, they're not unionized like here in Newfoundland and Labrador, and wharf prices are reported to be between $2.20 and $3 Canadian a pound. About the same prices that the panel had to pick from recently when it went with $2.20 a pound price here. In other crab news, the FAW was looking to the feds for a 10-week EI extension. When I was an MP in Ottawa, it was a struggle to get an EI extension when the ice was bad. So will the feds step up with help in a labor dispute? We shall soon see. There's also a suggestion of a fall fishery for snow crab. Concerns have been raised that the meat content in the fall from a newly molted snow crab is less than the meat content in the spring. Now, I put up an unscientific Facebook poll last week, and about 60% were in favor of the option, just the option, of a fall fishery for crab. But the debate over the option of a fall crab fishery, that debate is another example of where individual owner-operators should have the right to vote on important policies and issues. This is also an unprecedented year that calls for unprecedented action. The status quo will not cut it this year. So the Association of Seafood Producers put out a statement on yesterday, to say that once the crab fishery does get underway, it will probably drive down the price even further, given the quota increased over last year. In its statement, the ASP also said they would be sticking to the final offer selection process, which the FFAW signed off on last year, remember? The processors and buyers who make up the ASP also said they'll continue with trip limits and fishing schedules on top of the low prices. So how is that for a go fuck yourself? The ASP has the law behind it. The final offer selection system of fish pricing in this province is working exactly as it should, as the FFAW agreed to it in a review at the end of last summer. But the law is wrong. The law is broken. The fish price setting system in this province no longer works in getting fisheries up and running and delivering a fair market share to the inshore fleet. The legislated system of fish pricing holds owner-operators down so processors can have their way with them. Those chains must be broken. The only way for the inshore fleet to get the best, fairest possible price for your fish is to open the door to the free market and allow in outside buyers from anywhere in the world. Owner-operators must demand the right to truck out or to fly out their live snow crab directly to markets anywhere in the world. Whoever pays the highest price, that's a free and open market and complete transparency. The FFAW will have to stand back and let inshore enterprise owners take the lead on this one. The union can never take a serious stand for outside buyers, no matter what the leadership says, as long as the FFAW is in the conflicted position of also representing plant workers. Opening the door to outside workers will finally open the door to the free market, because that's not what we have here in Newfoundland and Labrador with the inshore fishery. It is not a free and open market. There is no transparency. Processors and buyers under the ASP hold all the cards, and the province won't make them lay down those cards on the table. In my opinion, the law may have to be challenged. Fishermen must pool some crab and either truck it out or fly it out directly to Boston or New York or Toronto or Montreal and see what those buyers are willing to pay. Because I'll bet that they'll pay a hell of a lot more than $2.20 a pound Canadian, and there wouldn't be any fishing schedules or trip limits involved either. But the law will have to be challenged. The province will not change the law unless its hand is forced. That's my opinion. Thanks for listening, and that's the latest on snow crab.